Chalo, we will start. I am sharing my screen. Today we will discuss about the what are the good features are available in the Snowflake. So yesterday just we have gone through the introduction on the Snowflake. So before that day, so we have gone through on so what are the trends on the Snowflake? What is the history of the Snowflake? So etc. We have gone through. Yesterday we have gone through like course details everything. Today we will discuss about the why it is coming. Today we will discuss about features are available in the Snowflake. Fine. Guys, am I audible? And then so you can able to see the screen. Please confirm anyone so that we can proceed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So why we need to use the Snowflake and what are the beauty benefits and what are the comfortable benefits? What are the great things which are available in the Snowflake and which are not available in the other data warehouse? Guys, I can say this Snowflake cloud data warehouse, this tool itself a very beautiful tool and then easy to use and then very comfortable. Very comfortable. See, whatever the SQL, suppose if you know the SQL, Oracle SQL, Teradata SQL or SQL Server SQL, whatever SQL you give to the Snowflake, then it will accept the all the syntaxes and then it will execute. Apart from that, it has a many great benefits. We'll discuss one by one actually. See, very first one, the great performance and then great performance and then scalability. Why do we have a great performance? And so what are the advantages we have? What are the specialties we have in the Snowflake? We'll discuss one. See, guys, in normal data warehouses, when you load the data into the database, the data will be stored in a storage disk. So here also in the Snowflake internal, whatever the things happening in the internal, the data will be stored. One second, let me open the picture so that you will understand. One second, guys. This is my phone. Fine. When we load the data into the Snowflake, suppose let's consider this is your table, guys. This is your table, normal table. And when we are loading a data into the Snowflake and into the table in the Snowflake, so this is whatever what we see in the this is the table what we see in the front end. But when we load the data in the table, what is happening internally? So this is the thing. What is happening in the internally? How the data is going to store and how we are getting a benefit and we are seeing a great performance improvement. That I will tell you. When you load the data into this table in the Snowflake, even tables are also in the Snowflake in the form of columns and then rows. But when you load the data into this table, internally what will happen in the Snowflake, the data will be stored in form of the micro partition. So this is the one of the component, storage component in the Snowflake. And then the data will be stored in a column format in the Snowflake. Data will be stored in a column format in the Snowflake. So by doing this, then we will get a great performance that we will discuss at the time of Snowflake architecture. We will discuss more things by doing And by loading a data into the Snowflake tables, the data will be stored in a column format, and the data will be stored in a micro partitions, and then data will be compressed. Data will be saved in a Snowflake in a compressed format. By using all these architecture functionality, then we can able to see very great performance in the Snowflake. That what is the micro partition, what is date store, what is compression, everything as part of our session we are going to discuss. This is about the great performance. And what is the meaning of the scalability? I will tell you. So this is scalability is, suppose let's consider guys, if you are working with the on-prem servers like SQL server, data warehouse, other data warehouse, once you build one second guys. Once you made the setup, and then once you build everything in on-prem servers, always 365 days the servers will be up and done until you manually stop the servers. So if you are using a server, if you are not using a server, if the servers are up and down, what will happen? Your servers are consuming all the resources, your hardware resources, your power resources, your storage resources, everything. When unnecessarily the servers are working or up and running, even though you are not using, then the cost and the prices are involved. We are wasting the money, because suppose let's consider in weekends we are not working, but in on-prem servers, even though if you are not working, the servers are up and down. When the servers are up and down, at least to run that to active, so it will use all the resources. When the resources are used, then cost and then prices are involved. Suppose let's consider, as a developer, if you are working for the particular day, you may be working 8 to 9 hours. After the 8 to 9 hours, even though you are not working, but still your servers are up and run. So what is the use? If you are working, if servers are active, then that is a meaningful. If we are not working in the weekends, if we are not working at the after 7 p.m. IST, then even the still servers are up and down means, then that is not the meaningful, and then that is not at all useful, because we are wasting the cost. So to avoid that, Snowflake has introduced great feature actually. What it will do, we have a default options in the Snowflake. What are those means? Suppose let's consider, if you are not using a Snowflake account in the weekend, so in that weekends, automatically the Snowflake account will go into the suspension mode. Suppose let's consider, you are working for the particular day, 8 hours or 9 hours. After 7 p.m., if you log off your system, once the log off your system, continuously, if you are not using 10 minutes or 20 minutes of your Snowflake account, when you are not using the Snowflake account continuously for the particular time, automatically it will go into the suspension mode. When it goes into the suspension mode, then it will stop working. When it stop working, then the Snowflake will not utilizing your resources. When Snowflake is not utilizing your Snowflake is not utilizing your resources, you are saving the cost to your organization. So that the Snowflake has provided this scalability feature. So what does this mean? If you are using only 2 hours for the particular day, then the Snowflake is going to charge only for the 2 hours. If you are using 8 hours for the day, then it is going to charge for the 8 hours, not for the 24 hours. You are using a 5 days for the day, for the week, then it is going to charge only 5 days, not 7 days. Not 7 days. Like this, we have this is the meaning of this scalability. Again, When it is goes to, when it is goes into the suspension mode, again when it is started the whenever you started the session, automatically it will become into the active mode. So when you stop to use continuously 10 minutes or 20 minutes, then automatically it will go into the suspension mode. When it is goes into the suspension mode, then you are costing a cost to your organization. So that is a scalability, guys. That is a scalability. And then next, what is the zero management? Yesterday we have discussed that to maintain your Snowflake account, to work with your Snowflake account, to maintain your business data warehouse in a Snowflake account, you no need to install anything. You no need to buy any hardware resources. There are no much and more manual resources are required to manage your Snowflake account. On behalf of your organization, entire thing will be taken care by your Snowflake company. I will tell you why this Snowflake will take care. Suppose let's consider by default the architecture has designed that whatever we are processing a load, processing a data, whatever we are loading a data, whatever we are executing a queries, already the Snowflake has designed such a architecture that everything should be executed in a very like optimized way, very optimized way. Specifically, we no need to do anything from our end. At worst cases, we need to look here and there. So by default, so it will take care all these things. That is a one thing. Second thing is zero. Second thing is, suppose let's consider, guys, in our on-prem servers, suppose if you built suppose 1000 terabytes of storage capacity, if you built 1000 capacity of storage capacity, 1000 terabytes of storage capacity, and then around 16 GB of RAM, etc. So after few days, when the data is going to grow, data is growing. Suppose consider that if that 100 TB, 1000 TB of storage capacity is full, then your on-prem servers will be stopped to work because the storage capacity is full. It is not able to process the data, and your hardware resource is not sufficient. I can't able to execute the IO request. So in such scenario, in on-prem servers, the servers will be stopped. They will not respond. They will not. If you are trying to load the data, then data will be not loaded because there is no space in the hard disk. If you are trying to execute the multiple IO requests, then it will not execute because already the 16 GB hardware, 16 GB RAM is utilizing by so many requests. So it is telling you that I am not able to process because of the insufficient resources. Now what we need to do? Again, there are multiple DBS. Again, there are some network engineers. They will dig into your issues. Why it is not loading? Why it is not responding? They will start troubleshooting the issues, and they will identify the issue, and then they will increase the storage capacity, and then they will increase the hardware capacity, and then now your servers will be started working, and then you can able to load the data, and then you can able to execute the IO request. I am talking about the on-prem servers because we have so many headaches in the on-prem servers. To overcome all these things in Snowflake, whatever the data, whatever the size you are going to load, so whatever the concurrent users are connecting to your Snowflake account, whatever the IO requests are submitting all the users, irrespective of all those things, automatically Snowflake will take your place. If you are processing 1000 TB terabytes of data, if you are processing 200 terabytes of data, that is doesn't matter. Based on your request, based on your data size, it will internally calculate, and then automatically the storage capacity will be increased. So based on the your number of requests, and then based on the data process, how much hardware resources need to be provided, automatically it will calculate, and then it will provide the hardware resources. So that is the zero management. So we no need to do anything. Just based on our requirement, automatically the Snowflake will take care. In case of a hardware, in case of a on-prem servers, each and every single point we need to take care. Each and every single point we need to take care. But in Snowflake, automatically it will take care. Next, convenient pricing. Next, convenient pricing. See, I told you. So whatever we are going to use, whatever we are going to use, so we are paying for that only. We are paying for that only. Fine. Whatever we are going to use, we are going to pay for that only. If you are using 3 hours per the day, you are going to pay only 3 hours. If you are using only 3 days for the week, then you are going to pay for only those 3 days. So that is a convenient pricing. And then what is this virtual compute warehouse? See here, in our on-prem servers, we have a hardware resources called hardware resources like RAM, memory, CPU, motherboard, etc. All these things, without all these things, we can't able to process any data into the servers. Here, the same hardware resources is they have provided as one of the object in the Snowflake, that is virtual compute warehouse, which is a hardware resource in your Snowflake. So again, in this virtual compute was when I say virtual compute resource, so you need to understand that is a hardware resource in the Snowflake. So what is the beauty of this virtual compute warehouse case? See, in our on-prem servers, once the hardware resources are made the setup, and then all the entire organization or entire project or entire users are utilizing same hardware resources across the multiple projects. Here in the Snowflake, they have introduced a concept virtual compute warehouse. We can able to create a multiple virtual compute warehouse. We can able to create a multiple virtual warehouse, because suppose I will tell you that suppose you have a 10 projects in your organization. So based on their requirement, see, project 1 may process the use data, project 2 may process the middle level data, middle level size of the data, and project 3 may process the small data. So based on their capacity and then based on their requirement, they can able to create their own virtual warehouse, and they can able to use their own virtual warehouse for their own purpose. Suppose if project 1 is created one virtual warehouse, that virtual warehouse will be dedicated to the project 1 only. If a project 2 is created a virtual warehouse, that warehouse is dedicated to project 2. We can't use a project 1 virtual warehouse to project 2. When we use like that, then what will happen? So you can able to see the robust great performance, because you are not sharing your hardware resources to all the projects or entire organization, or everyone who is working on the Snowflake is not sharing single hardware resources. Here they have introduced this concept. We can able to create a multiple virtual warehouses. We can assign those multiple warehouses to multiple projects. Whoever is working in the projects, they can use their own virtual warehouses. When they use their own virtual warehouse, then we can able to see the great benefits. So that is a beauty we have in the virtual warehouses. Guys, tell me now. So you are clear on these 4 points or not? These are features we are discussing theoretically. We have so many things to see, but these things and all you have to understand before starting the sessions. You need to understand these terminologies, so that I am explaining the theoretical of these things. Tell me your understanding or not. Still, do I need to do anything? Just open your mouth, please, instead of listening the story. Just tell me, guys.
Yeah, Shekhar, in zero management, you have said that if the memory exceeded, it will automatically increase the memory in the Snowflake. Whereas in on-prem, it is not possible. So while subscription of the Snowflake account, they have given a limited memory, right? Or else it will like an unlimited memory. We can use as much as we can.
Okay. So have you completed your question? Still you have any question?
Yeah, yes, completed.
See, now your question is regarding hardware resources, not only memory, hardware resources. You mean to say whether they will give the unlimited hardware resources or limited hardware resources? That is your question, right?
Yes, yes.
See, that is what I told. The hardware resources, when you speak about the hardware resources in the Snowflake, that is this virtual compute, fourth point. That is your virtual compute warehouse. Fine. While defining of this virtual compute warehouse, what it will do, while defining this virtual compute warehouse, what you will do, you will create a virtual. See, one second, I forget to show that image so that you got confusion. That's fine. See, this virtual warehouse will be created with the different sizes. This virtual warehouses will be this virtual warehouse itself a hardware resource. That is a very key point and first point you have to remember. And then, so you asked about the limitations. See, virtual warehouse will be created with the different sizes. See, project one may process the middle level size of the data. Then you can create the virtual warehouse size with the small size. If the virtual warehouse is created with the medium, if you want to create a virtual warehouse size with the medium size, you can create. If you want to create a virtual warehouse large, then you can create. But once you create a virtual warehouses in your project, you can use your own virtual warehouse. And also, when you create a virtual warehouse with a particular size, and also while working with the Snowflake, you came to know that so the defined virtual warehouse size is not sufficient. On the fly, you can able to increase the virtual warehouse size. Nothing but you are increasing the hardware capacity without impacting anything, without stopping anything. You can able to increase the size of the virtual warehouse. You can increase the size of the virtual warehouse on the fly, without impacting or without process. Suppose let's consider you are loading a data, you are loading around 25 terabytes of data. While loading a data, suppose you experience that it is taking too much of time, but the loading process is in progress. So in such scenario, you came to know that the whatever the virtual warehouse size is defined, that is not sufficient. You need to increase. Yes, the even though request is in progress, you on the fly you can able to increase the virtual warehouse size to next size, and then you can finish your task. So that is a beauty. That is a beauty you have in the Snowflake. It seems make sense. Who is asking that question? Clear or not clear? Still, guys.
Yeah, yeah, clear. So the request, if you want to increase a warehouse size, what we have to do, like there is a command, or else in the database admin team, we need to ask them to increase the size of the warehouse.
I will show all the options while
Okay.
when we create the Snowflake. Just that's what this is a theoretical session. I'm explaining all these things to bring all of you into the Snowflake world.
Okay.
Directly, I can't jump into the Snowflake and then start the Snowflake concepts, because so this is kind of a new world, and whatever we are seeing the terminologies, these are the new terminologies. So you need to familiar and then comfortable with these terminologies before really starting the sessions on Snowflake. Make sense or not, guys?
Yeah, yeah.
Clear till here? These 4 points. It seems this is heavily theoretical classes. I do understand, but you have to understand all these things.
Yes, Shekhar.
Others, you are understanding or not? Or do I
Yes,
need
sir.
to change my pattern? How? I need everyone opinion, because so this is a little bit theoretical only, because we need to understand the some Snowflake terminologies. I will ask one by one. Anjali Kumar.
Yeah, I understand. Hi.
Anjali Kumari. Okay, this is your first class, huh?
Yeah, this is my first class.
What is your background, Anjali?
It's I am working in IT, like means I am working in TCS.
Hyderabad TCS, huh?
Yeah,
Which branch?
Means my branch, like BTech, I have completed BTech.
No. I'm asking about the TCS, in which building you are working.
Oh, means I'm working in SQL and PL SQL and Unix.
Fine. How many years experience you have, Anjali?
I have total 3 years of experience, and I want to go in Snowflake. That's why I'm taking class.
Yeah, that's fine. It will work for you. Kuldeep and then
Yeah.
Megha Gupta.
Yes, sir. I understand everything. This is my first class, so I have a little bit doubt, but I think it's clear after
Usually
this.
what you need to do, go through the recording videos. Already we have completed the 2 sessions. Go through the recording videos. Ask the institute people. They will give you, go through those previous recording videos, then it will be easy for you. Okay.
Okay.
Now, so we will discuss next point.
Yeah.
So this is also recover Snowflake object using OnDrop. So this is a new concept in the data warehouse world. What is the meaning of this OnDrop means? Guys, leave about the Snowflake, leave about the any other data warehouse. Suppose in the data warehouse, you have one table or you have one database. Usually, if the table or a database is deleted from the data warehouse, what we will do? Then we need to bring back that deleted object. So for that, what we will do? We will go into the multiple backup devices and identify the latest backup devices, and then we will restore that backup device into our database. When you do all these steps, then we will get the deleted object. Either it may be a database, either it may be a schema, either it may be a table, and then etc. So you can able to restore using the latest backup device into a database. So that is a normal approach. So you need to follow all these things. But to do this is not a simple step. It will take a couple of days also, because you need to raise a request to the DBA, and they need to identify the latest backup device, and they need to restore the backup. So instead of doing all these steps, Snowflake has introduced here this OnDrop concept. What is this meaning is, if the table is deleted, if the database is deleted, by using a simple OnDrop statement, OnDrop database name. If you execute that, directly it will bring the deleted object, and then it will restore into your environment. So that is a great beauty is available with the OnDrop statement. And the next, cloning. Object cloning. Suppose let's consider you have a production environment and you need to start the development of some code, and then you need to test that code and then move that code into the production environment. But you need to have a data of the copy of the production database into your development environment and your testing environment. So in that scenario, usually in traditional way, what we will do, we will take the backup of the production database, and then we will restore that production database copy into the dev environment and then QA environment. So this is the multiple steps. We need to take a backup and then restore into those environments. These are the multiple steps. Instead of doing all these things, whatever the copy you want, the object either from a database, etc. Just using a word, the cloning, you can able to copy the backup of the database and then restore the database wherever you want into lower environments. No need to do the manual step like taking a backup and restoring to those things under. No, all these things are cut now. Using a simple object cloning concept, you can able to restore all the, within a minute. You can able to restore all the copy of the production database into your lower environments wherever you want. So that is one of the great feature. See here next, semi-structured database, semi-structured data. What is this semi-structured data? See, till now we have seen the data like select star from table and then flat files, CSV files, Apart from that, suppose if you want to process and then load the data from the JSON files, and then from the XML files, I will show you how that JSON files looks like. 1 second, guys. I will show you how the JSON file looks like. Maybe it is closed. So do you know what is the JSON file, guys? Guys, do you know what is a JSON file?
It will have the curly braces and all, right?
Yeah, JSON file or XML file means it will not be into a proper format, readable format. It will be in a clumsy format. It will be in a different format. So we need to take that data, parse that data, and then load that data into the Snowflake tables. So such data is also supported in the Snowflake. So that is semi-structure. Now, next, this is continuous data production time travel. What is this? This is also again a useful feature. Suppose let's consider this. Suppose we have a one customer table. Out of that customer table, we have 100 records. Out of that 100 records, if 10 records are deleted, then what we will do, guys? Suppose let's consider we are implementing some scenario. We are implementing some scenarios. As part of that, we need to apply some DML operations. While applying here some DML operations, we have missed some conditions. So due to that, your data is corrupted now. Your data is corrupted. Maybe data updated, maybe data deleted. Then you need to bring back that corrupted data. Then what you will do in a normal approach? Tell me, guys. So have you got my question? At least leave about the solution, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. So in such scenario, usually what we will do, we will again we will go with the DBA. I will ask, hey DBA team. Actually, my table, the customer table is records are got deleted. Can you do something favor for me, or else can you restore the table into the environment? So again, what he will do, then again the cinema will start. Why you have done these mistakes? You should not do all these things. Why you are paying with the data? Is this fish market? Is it vegetable market? Is it volleyball cricket stadium? So this is database. You need to take care of all these things. You should not write unnecessarily the DML statement. You need to double check every background noise, you will listen all these things and all. Finally, and again your lead or your manager will ask you to create a request to the DBA team. Again, you need to the DBA team will restore the data. That is fine. But in the Snowflake, instead of doing all these things, you have a time travel concept. Just you need to go back to the history of each and every table. And when you go back to the history of the table, then you will be having all the data. Suppose if you deleted the data at 6 a.m. So what was there before the 6 a.m.? Then you need to go back to the before 6 a.m. request or data and then bring that data, so that you will get that whatever it was there before 6 a.m. then you will get that original data, and then you can restore that data into your table using a simple this time travel concept. It will maintain the actual Snowflake, everything, whatever we are discussing the theoretically here, everything we are going to create, we are going to see, we are going to execute everything as part of our regular sessions. So here time travel concept is just it will maintain the history for all the tables. By using that history and by using this time travel concept, you can able to restore the data into the table on the fly within a second. So that is the beauty which is available in the time travel. So this is change data capture using streams and then task. This is normal thing. This is not that much of great thing. So to capture the auto incremental data and then you can schedule the SQL statement using a task. And then what is data sharing? Data sharing is also great feature they have introduced. Suppose if you want to share your data with anyone, so usually you will share the data in the Excel sheets. Instead of providing a data into the Excel sheets, you can provide a permission to the particular table to the particular user. Directly he can access the data from the table instead of sharing a data into the Excel sheet. So that is the one of the data sharing. This snowpipe concept. What is this? This snowpipe concept is, which is one of the object in the snowflake, which is used to do the automate the entire process, guys. If the file is there, that file data need to be loaded into the your snowflake target table. So your target table. So by using this snowpipe concept, you can able to automate all the process. Simple. You need to make a configurations. You need to make a setup. Once you made a setup, when the files are arrived into your source location, automatically the files will be picked and then the data will be corresponding data will be loaded into the target table without doing anything. Just you need to make a setup once and then automatically when the files are arriving into the your source location and then that data will be loaded into your snowflake target tables. So this is our today's discussion, guys. This is heavily we have discussed all these concepts. Still, we have a snowflake architecture. We will discuss in next session. That is also one of the great session. So we have so many beautiful things to go through snowflake architecture. Then we will see if I explain all these things in a single class, then it will become a heavy load to you guys. Maybe a few guys may be having a good knowledge on the things, they can able to digest. If anyone don't have the knowledge on the database and the database world, but it will become a little bit difficult for them. So this difficult to digest also. So that I am giving a little bit. Fine. Now tell me guys, if you're good at all these concepts, or if you're good at any tell me guys, do you have any doubts here or not clear? Anything still I need to repeat? Any gaps in understanding? Tell me guys.
Shekhar, can you explain one more time the secure data sharing with Snowflake Cloud Account?
See, this is simple. So this is a very big concept. Just I told in a couple of words. That's it. Simple. I'm telling you. See, if you have a data in your table, you want to share that data to the any user, then you will share that data using a Excel sheet. You will copy that data into the Excel sheet and then share that. One second, guys. This data sharing is we are sharing a data into the Excel sheets usually to the any users from the table. Instead of sharing that data into the any Excel files or any shared locations, we have a concept here called data sharing. If you give the permission to the any user of the table, directly they can access the data using the table itself. Instead of sharing the data in Excel files, directly they can use the table and then they can get the data. Suppose let's consider you are working. Suppose I am working in one environment of the Snowflake. and you are working in another environment of the Snowflake. I have a table and then you don't have a table because you are working in a different environment. If same database means you can able to access. Completely you are working in different environment. I am a completely different environment, but you need a data of that particular table. So in such scenario, I can able to provide you a access on the table. Then from your end, you can able to access that table into your environment. So that is the data sharing here. Clear or not clear, guys?
Like creating roles and permissions.
That and all we'll see. That and all we'll see as part of our reviews. We'll see all this, but try to understand the high level knowledge.
Yeah.
So that we have so many things to do this and that. This is not a simple task. So we have so many things. How we are going to do that is second. That is next step. We will see all these things in our as part of our regular class. But what is the data sharing? This is the concept. How we are doing and all, that is technical part. Right. Hello.
Yes, got it.
Yeah. Any other doubts, guys? Yeah, actually, we have completed the previously 2 sessions and then today is the 3 session. Our institute people will allow the around 3 sessions. So better to make the registration with them. Maybe they will change the link to join to the class in the next session. That I am not sure. That's why try to be touch base with the institute people and then make the registration. Fine. Tell me guys, if you have any queries, ask me the questions. If you don't have any questions, then we will close the session for today. And then we will meet again on Monday 7 AM. There will not be classes on weekends. Then again we will meet on Monday. Fine, guys.
Okay, so like timing is same, right?
Timing is 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay. So like on Monday, like it's not like means this link is not working, right?
That is what talk to institute people.
Oh, fine. Okay.
So if everyone is fine, then again we will meet on Monday 7 AM. Then we will close the session for the day. Is that fine, guys?
And like it's like I have one question. Like it's like how many days it will go? Like how many months for completed that this course?
35 classes we are going to targeting.
I think 1 month, right? 1 month and
1.5 month like that, yeah.
okay. And like means in this like any means project it's going on like project and all.
Project, just I will explain how the things will be like. Project and all we can't able to do.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Guys, any other questions? Chalo, if you don't have any questions, then we will meet on Monday. Fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Meet on Monday. Bye bye.
Bye.